Okay, so we are in a pop-up think hour. And what's interesting is a conversation that was happening earlier today was coming to mind. And then I heard this line of literally, I think it was an ad that just popped up on my phone that just started playing, but it said something about like rethinking about how we want to show up. And that goes to the conversation Wendy and I were having earlier, and about how we show up to certain things, the kind of mindset we want to have going into a meeting or setting an intention, right? Like we need to have that prep work. And I loved that it like literally just like rethink on how you're going to show up. And that's a huge thing for me personally, that I make sure that like I work best, I should say, when I feel prepared mentally, versus any other way, right? Like I need to mentally know that I'm prepared for a conversation or, the possibilities. I really keep my mind open to possibilities because I want to be prepared for what if this, but also what if this in a good way or a bad way. So I like the idea of rethinking how we show up in our life, right? And we are in the month of courage. So rethinking about how we show up to enhance courage in there. I'm curious if anything is coming to mind that you would like to share, or anything that's coming through for either one of you that are on here with me live. Rethinking how we show up. And then I see how Nancy's showing up like all fancy and ready to go. And she's talking about how she went for a walk. But hey, I don't know. Maybe that changes how we go for a walk if we dress differently and how we show up to something. I don't know.
It definitely
What are you
changed
thinking?
how I walked today because I had to slow down because my jeans were sticking to me and my silk was getting, I'm like, ooh, yeah, not a good idea. But I have to tell you that this is actually, there's something here for me. There's something stirring. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but this week has been very, I don't know what the right word is, not thought provoking, not just, but I've been rethinking a lot because I was supposed to have an event on Saturday. Nobody registered. So that's been canceled. I was supposed to start my next leadership cohort. 2 people backed out. So now I only have 1 person committed. And yesterday I was like working so hard to try to fill that I wasn't myself. And so then I started like, what am I doing? Like, this is not about filling it. It's about serving the right people. Right. So I started rethinking what I could learn from this, right? What I could take away. And then this morning we closed on another small parcel of our property. So I was just really, that really hit me harder than the larger parcel that we sold 2 months ago. But I know that it's probably the larger parcel we sold 2 months ago that's really showing up for me today. I mean, that's how I operate because I just know that I don't process my feelings in the moment. So it's like all resurfacing. So I've just been thinking like, what is it that I really want to do? Like, where is, I have so many things that I'm so excited about that moving them all seems kind of like a mountain, right? And so how do I really want to show up? So I'm really rethinking like, how do I really want to show up on a more intentional focus, prioritize, what is it that I really love about all these things I love, to make sure I'm choosing the one that I love the most, or the 2 that I love the most, and not just doing things because they all fit. I mean, I could find a way to make them all fit to my strategy and they support my heart center. I mean, so I just, I've been rethinking that a lot. So I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say, but if you guys heard anything, I'd love to know because I don't really know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. First, I love that you know how you process. I think that I wanted to just point that out, that you said that you take time to process, which I think is a huge thing where, sometimes we don't let things process enough and then we're on to the next thing, right? That's how
Mhm.
we end up filling our plate too much. And we have too many things to think about where our focus needs to go, what is truly that we want to put our energy and our focus to. Because like you said, we can find ways that it connects and it makes sense and I can make it work. That's kind of the mindset that we are like reprogramming, I think, all the time, and we need to rethink. Because it's not about making the things work, right? It's about what fits with where you are and what you're doing and who you are today. And right, that's that balance of knowing what you want 5 years from now. Like, still, does it align? And do the things make sense right now in the moment? Or is it a season, right? Are you moving into the season with a different focus, with needing to look at things differently? And I think that's a beautiful thing about living in Wisconsin, that we're always reminded there is a season for some things. There is different times and different ways to support. I mean, even as people, I know so many people that I need to support them differently in the fall, in the winter, right? There's different things that need to happen. So that was just coming to me as knowing how we process things to make decisions about, okay, why is this happening? Or what can I do from here, right? Like, what is this space opening up for you by saying this wasn't it, but now what, right? Is it opening up for you to go to do something different, to find new connections? Or is it to look at the programs, is to look at the events, or like whatever it is? But it's opportunity to get curious about more opportunity to find out more about what you want. So I love that you're rethinking about what you really want and what you really need to have your energy in.
Yeah, I can think a lot. And then all of a sudden I just go, just do something, right? So
Yep.
um, there's that piece too.
Mm-hmm. I think that's definitely the other piece, is that we can think all we want, we can have the ideas, but the action is actually where anything happens. If there's no
Mm,
action, there's no way. I mean, you can believe all you want, but you can't just believe something to appear. We have to take action towards what we actually want. So we need both pieces. We need the
mm,
belief in the vision of it, and we need to take the action towards what we want to be true.
yep,
So
absolutely.
figuring that out, what you want. I love that that's where you went. Your heart center, going what you want, and deciding an action step from there. Because you already know, you said you were going to decide which things, maybe there's only two. You
Hmm.
already knew that. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to be a part and see how that's unfolding for you. And we are at the top of the hour. So we're going to end our pop-up think hour. And I want to thank you ladies for joining me.
Thanks for